Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I would like to thank you for joining our Canva Code with AI today. This is another presentation through the Next Text Month of AI webinar series. I've done this one before where I like to think about like beyond the PDF and how can we really take what we're trying to create and what we're trying to do with our students to really engage them and to go beyond like a static worksheet. What can we do? How can we get our kids to think creatively? That's difficult to do sometimes with a piece of paper. So there is a URL down here, tinyurl.com/ beyond the PDF Canva AI. Make sure you use the capitals wherever they are. But I do believe this presentation will be shared later as well. So um, my name is Kyle Klein. I am the Director of Digital Learning at Twin Lakes School Corporation in Monticello, Indiana. So that's about 30 minutes northeast, kind of more north of West Lafayette. So big boiler fan here. I am also a member of the Indiana Connected Educators Board, and we're excited to have our conference again next year, this fall in October. I'm a ViewSonic authorized trainer and also a Google certified trainer. So once again, there's our tinyurl.com/ beyond the PDF Canva AI. So we're going to be talking today about how can we use some of the features within Canva, some of the AI features, to either increase your production, maybe help you work more efficiently, maybe make it so that you can put a little more pizzazz into your presentations, into anything that you create for your students. So what we have here when we talk about Canva AI, and I'm going to be kind of jumping back and forth into a couple different presentations here as we move along. If you're not real familiar with Canva, it start off as just a presentation tool to kind of spice up your Google Slides, your PowerPoints. Well, they just keep expanding, and they're kind of turning into more of a suite that you could almost compare to like Google or Microsoft. And I really think that's kind of a push they're trying to make in the education world, because you can make presentations, a la Google Slides and PowerPoint. They have sheets now. So just like, using, Microsoft Excel or Google Sheets. Same thing with Docs. They have Docs now as well. So they're getting closer, and they also have added forms. So if you want to embed a form into your presentation, it's pretty cool. A lot of these are some AI tools that teachers want to use. So let's look at a few different things. These are the three things we're going to kind of really focus on today. And we're going to look at Magic Media. This is where you can create an image, a graphic, a GIF, anything like that. You can actually create your own if you can't find it. You can also create a cool little short video, which is pretty exciting. We're going to go into Canva code, and we're going to see what we can create. We're going to see what's already created there for us. And then we're going to go into the lesson generator. So we have three different things we're going to kind of focus on today. These should be pretty fun. Just kind of give you some ideas. Hopefully that will get your wheels spinning and you're like, okay, all right, that makes sense. So I can do this, right? So let's look at our Magic Media. So here we have an extra image that's not supposed to be there first off. So let me get that out of there. Sorry about that. So when we talk about Magic Media, we have images, graphics, videos, 3D objects. So what I did for this image right here was actually created, if you're thinking about, if you are in, you teach social studies and you're talking about the Great Wall. And so it's really difficult for our students to understand how amazing and how huge the Great Wall is, but it's also really difficult for them to think about, how long did it really take to make the Great Wall of China? And so in this case, I just kind of created a little an AI image where I had taken from the point of view of someone currently, in the future, had them go back in time to look at the construction of the Great Wall. So when our students look at this, when I put this image up for our students, I ask them, I'm like, what do you notice? What do you see? What do you notice? And some kids will notice that the man looks a little more current version than when the wall was built. They notice there's a lot of bricks around here. They notice that there is some scaffolding, but the scaffolding isn't made out of metal and planks and things like that. They notice just how many bricks there are. So it's a great conversation that a teacher can use and start to go right into their conversation about the Great Wall of China. So here are a couple different prompts that I put in here that you can use. Feel free, you can go into Canva and you can try these out. So, if I want like a friendly blue octopus wearing glasses, holding a book, flat vector style. One thing that I struggle with sometimes is trying to figure out like what kind of theme that I want. Eric Kurtz actually presented. If you look up Eric Kurtz Control Alt Achieve blog, he shared how to create stunning visuals and infographics, and he has maybe 20 to 25 different ways, like vector style, watercolor, oh my gosh, all these different ways of what you may want to create with how you want to create your images and everything. So there's a few different sample prompts here. I'm going to actually show you. We're going to do the raindrop falling onto a leaf in slow motion. So I'm going to go out of my presentation and I'm going to go over here to Canva. So when you first go into Canva, you can use you can use a free account and you get a lot of these tools. However, I love I've set up our district, our technology department set up our district where we can use our school account, and you set up your account in Canva, and teachers have all of these paid features, these pro features for free. It is amazing. So a lot of times when I go and try to create something, I might look for, something, and it might have, and let's see, if I go in here and like click on an image here, if I go to elements, and if I go to like photos, and anything that says edu along here, anything that says edu, these are all free with a school account. I could not use these numbers if I did not have a school account. All right. So that is something I would highly recommend talking to your school district. Students they can submit assignments back to you via Canva or via Schoology Canvas or Google Classroom, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to go in here to my home. You'll see at the top, you'll see a lot of different items that are up here. You'll see some new items as well. You have your straightforward presentation, social media, all these items that you can do. There's also this wonderful upload button. Holy cow. This is really cool. You can actually upload PDFs and edit your PDFs in Canva by using that upload button. Pretty awesome. All right, so you can see my recents. We don't need to see what I've made here, but we're going to go over here on the left. There should be Canva AI. So we'll click on Canva AI. And what we want to do is I want to create, I'm going to do a little video here. So let's do this. I'm going to go into my video. And actually, I apologize. Let me go back to my presentation. Let's look at our elements. And I want to make a video. So they've changed kind of how they have everything set up here. They kind of look like icons now. So you have your shapes, your graphics, your photos, all these items here under your elements. I'm going to click on videos. And I could search for I'm going to type this in here, a 5-second cinematic clip of a raindrop falling onto a leaf in slow motion, macro view. I could try to find that. However, it's going to be difficult for me to find. So what I can do is I can actually click on this generate button, and this will create a short link or a short video for us. So I'm going to click on generate. It's thinking it's going to use its AI powers to create this little short video that I want to put into my presentation. So maybe we're talking about the water cycle. Maybe we're talking about just, water erosion, things like that. And we're just talking about rain and stuff. This could be used for an elementary classroom. And so what I want is a 5-second cinematic clip, a slow motion raindrop falling onto a leaf. So I put it in here. It takes a little while, so you do have to be patient, but it's not too bad. And it's going to create a little video. So we'll see how fast it is. While that's creating, I've also said, like, here's some other prompts. So if you want just an image, or if you do want a video of a friendly blue octopus, you can put that in there. into the AI. If you can't find it, this is where the AI comes in helpful. How about a futuristic city powered by giant wind turbines and solar panels? If you drive from Indianapolis to Chicago, you'll notice just north of West Lafayette and Lafayette, you'll see a bunch of wind turbines. White County and Benton County, and let's see, Newton County, they have a lot of wind turbines now. It's pretty flat, so they're getting a lot of wind today. So they're making their money's worth today. But I can create these wind turbines, and I can either make it as a video, an image, maybe I want to make it as a graphic. These are things I can put in. Your brain is the only thing that will stop you here, right? Sometimes if I'm struggling with what I want to prompt, then I may use an LLM, such as like Claude, Gemini, ChatGPT to kind of help me come up with a prompt of something. And then that way I can kind of fit it in here a little bit better. Cause I'm not going to lie to you. When I first did the raindrop one, I did not even think about a macro view. So, oh, here we go. All right. Audio. Oh my gosh, we could do audio if we wanted, but here's our video. Oh man, that's cool. Cinematic, very cinematic and slow. So I'm going to click here. Let's add it so it's a little bit bigger. So you can resize these. Okay, you can resize these videos in here and you can put them in there. So I'm going to actually put it in place of my Great Wall and it's going to play. You can adjust some of the settings here. So it's going to autoplay whenever you come to this slide. But that's pretty cool. Like that's a super close-up view of what a raindrop looks like, right? Pretty spectacular. So I'll leave that there right now. One of the other things that you might notice is I have this cactus back here. This guy is actually a 3D object. So if you go in under your elements, and if you notice under here, you go to 3D, you can actually pull things over here, or in this case, you can't really create them as much. But if I want to take maybe this, oh, let's do this ice cream cone. Heck yes. So if I have this ice cream cone here, you're going to notice that it has this little rotational image here in the middle. If I grab this and I want to take this ice cream cone, I want to make it a little bit more 3D, well, I can do that by rotating it, changing it however I want. And then what happens is then I just place it wherever I want. All right. So that's kind of new and cool also. So you have the 3D imagery. I wish when I first saw it, I was real excited because I love VR. I love augmented reality and things like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, in my presentation, like as I'm doing my presentation, I'm going to be able to move this around. Like when I'm on that slide and everything, you can't really. Like if I go to my presentation here, I can't move it. You know, it doesn't give me that option to move around. That's kind of a bummer. OMG. They have updated this. Look at this. I'm learning things with you all. So I hope this is cool. Okay, this is what I've been wanting, and this is what I've been waiting for. Oh my gosh. But let's see if my cactus moves. No, it's not going to move my cactus. So they're too close. How cool is this? So you can actually put a 3D image into your presentation and rotate it. Only bummer part is you have to use whatever they have and whatever they create. You can't just create something with AI in this piece. But I still wanted to show that to you because that's pretty amazing. And they have updated it to what I wanted. Canva's always listening to me, right? That's fabulous. So that is our magic media. So there's a lot of things you can create within the magic media. You know, if you're not real sure about prompting, ask an LLM. You know, what can I put in for a prompt? This is my help me write a prompt for this that I want to create in Canva. Okay, pretty cool. All right, next up is our Canva AI code. This is slick, super slick. What you can do is you can create an actual a website, an interactive activity right in Canva, share it with a link right into your LMS, your Schoology, Canvas, Google Classroom, and the kids get to interact with it right away. She's like, all right, that sounds pretty neat. So here are some ideas. Sorry, I shouldn't have jumped out of there too soon. Here's some different ideas that you could use, like interactive flashcards. Okay, that's pretty cool. A digital birthday card with confetti. How cool would that be if you knew when your students' birthdays were, you created a digital card, you sent it to them via Google Classroom, and they're like, oh, what's this? I have a message from Mr. Klein. They click on it. Happy birthday. There's music. confetti flies, not real confetti, but digital confetti flies. Super duper, super cool. Love, 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 love it. 3D games exploring space. We've done this with our first graders where the teacher and I kind of worked together. We were able to pull in some information from their CKLA units, and they were able to create an interactive space galaxy, like the Milky Way, where the kids could click on the different. They could click on the different planets, the sun. They could learn a little bit. It will actually read to them because I said it's made for first graders, so we need to include that accessibility piece. So cool. So let's go back over here. So we're going to start at home. All right, we're going to start at home, and we're going to go to the Canva AI on the left. And what I'm going to do is when we look at the Canva AI, it prompts you with a few different things down here. You can now create, like we did before, a short little video clip, right? They have other suggestions. Create student activities. We'll get to this shortly. Design. So if I click on the design, do you want social media? Do you want presentation? It kind of prompts you, leads you through what you might want to create. I can also click on this plus button. And if I want to upload any other presentation from Canva and I want to design something based upon that, if I want to apply a brand kit, if I want to import a file. So I could import something from my Google Drive, anything that's saved on my actual device. I could import that in here. And this is how we did the first grade solar system with CKLA. We just imported some of the content that the students had learned. That way, AI knows what it's creating for. It's not creating a solar system for students that are in Earth and space science in high school, right? They're first graders. Keep it basic. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to type in, or I'm going to actually prompt. I copy and paste it over here. We're going to create a 3x3 grid of quest buttons. When a button's clicked, it's going to change from incomplete to a green complete check mark and save that state. Once any 3 buttons are checked, trigger a pop-up that says Achievement Unlocked, Master Learner. So we're going to see what this does. We're going to see what this says here. And let's click on this green button. Once again, there are some other hidden tools underneath this, underneath like the settings gear. You could always attach something else if you need as a reference. I'm going to hit submit. And we're going to watch the magic happen. So it's going to tell you what it's going to create. And the really cool thing is it's going to take a little while, but it is coding everything for me. It's going to make a website for me. It's going to make an interactive activity. I have about 2 coding skills. I am not like a lot of other people that are a lot more intelligent than me. I like to fake it, and I only know a couple things about coding, right? But this will help me code and create this activity. I can brainstorm these activities. I may, brainstorm with a partner, a peer, and LLM, and then I can come here to Canva and create it. We actually have math teachers at the middle school that have been using Canva code to create interactive activities for their students. And they're like, this is amazing. Okay, here we go. First version, version 1 right here. It tells us what it did over here. It creates a quest tracker. Here's your quest tracker, 3x3 grid of quests, dark medieval inspired aesthetic. Click on any question to mark it complete. Let's satisfy green check mark. This is version 1. So maybe I don't, let's see. Let's just click on it, right? All right, let's see. Click on quest 1. So we had some quests. We're going to say, okay, yeah, check. Basically what you've done is you've given students quests in another on another activity or like on maybe a piece of paper, and as they go through this kind of like a choice board, maybe they did quest 5. Oh, yay, achievement unlocked. Notice that I don't think that gave it to me on the others, did it? See, oh, every 3 times. Sorry, it's gonna be every 3 buttons, then achievement unlocked. Nope, it didn't do that. So this is a fun thing about this. This is version 1. I can ask it, or I can say, you did not trigger a pop-up. Like I requested. Add a pop-up after 3 buttons are checked. And then I also want to change the background to a, let's see, we're gonna say maybe try to make it like a tree bark color. Okay, we'll see what happens here. So I can keep going through this. If it's not exactly what I want, then I can keep typing with it. I have a conversation. This is just like if you were to work with a coder or somebody, you have this great idea for a website and you hire somebody on the side and you have these conversations back and forth. It might be emails or whatever. It's going to create, it should change these. So it says right here, let me fix the pop-up, the achievement pop-up. Let's see if it changed the background. I've updated your quest tracker for a forest green background. I don't think the background worked. Let's see. Let's try to click on 3 quests. Achievement unlocked. Okay, great. Let's try another 3. Oh, see, it must only do it after 3. So maybe I have to say after each 3. This is a part about coding with AI is you have to be very specific, okay? You have to make sure you ask it exactly what you want. Because AI is going to be very, very literal. And so you're going to have to click on, I want to every single time there's three buttons clicked. Okay. A new achievement has been unlocked. It did after the first 3, did not do it after the next 3. What if I do it after the third 3? Oh, okay. I completed them all. No responses. That is something that I would want to type over here and work on with Canva. Okay. I can change this. All right. Let's see. The background did not change. Please change it. I would still like to use proper, let's see, manners when I'm working with AI. Sometimes I just don't, if it takes over the world, I wanted to know that I was being nice to it at some point. So please change to a forest green background. So I can go through, I could ask to change the font. I could ask to actually create something behind it, like each quest where like they would turn around kind of like a Jeopardy game and you could ask for it to see. I don't know. I must have asked it wrong. It's not working for me. But anyway, I could go back. I can go, if I don't like version 3, I don't like version 2, I can go back up here to version 1 and I can click on version 1. It's going to take me back to version 1. Okay. That's what I can publish and I can submit. A couple of things I want to show up here on the top right. If I click on this little slider, it's going to say show code. Here's all the code. Okay. Never, ever, ever in my lifetime from now until, from when I was born up till now, and for the rest of my lifetime, will I be able to do this? Okay. This would take forever. And so I can complain about how it's not changing the background, but I still have a pretty good working quest, like where the kids can check off the buttons and everything. I still have it. I can never create this, right? I can never do this. Now from here, I can either use it in a design or I can publish it. So I'm just going to publish this the way it is. And I can publish it to a website. Look, okay, here's my URL. I can change the path to quest. Let's see. I want to say quest chest. So I'll just say quest board. Okay. So it's going to go kyleklein.my.canva.site/questboard, and I can hit publish. Now what's going to happen is this is going to turn it into an actual website that you can share with your students. Here we go. So let's view the website. This comes over to my website. Here we go. Here's my board. This is what it looks like when you share it with a student. Check, check, check. I might add something here, start over down at the bottom. This is what you would share with your kids. Okay. You would share this URL right here. All right. Pretty cool, pretty functional. There's so many other things you can make though. All right. So I'm going to come back here. Let's go back. It didn't exactly do what I wanted. So that was a bummer. But if you go to, like, if I just click on, let's say I start back at home, I go to Canva AI and I want it to code. If I click on the code, this is going to show things it can make for me. So let's see. Let me scroll down here. Here are some sample items it can do. An interactive pricing calculator that can share with my clients, an interactive historical timeline, an interactive menu for my restaurant. Pretty cool. Vocab matching game. Oh, here's like there you go. Exploring space. So I could do a simple countdown timer, just something small I could do. All right. If I go here to an interactive menu for my restaurant, these are always fun. And it shows up here any recent chats I've had. So let's go to an interactive menu. Come on. Come on. Maybe if I go to mine back here. Okay, this is what I had before. And it's creating my interactive menu. So if I go to version 1, here is my interactive menu. I recommend this to our culinary arts teacher. Like, hey, how cool would it be? Because he's like, I'd really like to kind of make him my kids, design a whole menu based on a certain theme that they wanted. He goes, but I don't want to just make a Google Slides presentation with images and everything. I wanted to kind of make something a little bit more interesting. I go, oh my gosh, this is the perfect place for Canva code. And so what the kids can do is they can go through here, they can code on their side too. This is not just a teacher tool. They can go on the kids side or on the Canva AI for the students, and they can create their own code. They can type in, the title of their restaurant. They can put in, we want appetizers, main course, sandwiches, desserts, drinks. They could add in the different types that they want of food. And then they can put in what are the different foods they have. And then also what are the prices. Talk about like making it a little bit more real life. This is so cool that we can do this, right? How cool is this that a kid could actually create an interactive menu, get a little bit more of an idea of like, okay, yeah, this I can actually do this, right? I could work in a nice restaurant. I could do this. So very cool. Quick drink. So very cool things in here. There's a lot of things. I don't know why it's not down here for me, but you can click any of these. It'll give you an idea. It'll put items up here. You can even edit what you want. If the kids want to edit the prices, whatever you want to do. Very cool. I love the Canva AI pieces. So let's go back to our presentation. I have made a Jeopardy style game on here, and I think it took me to my third iteration till I got it to actually add. I had needed to add like a double Jeopardy at the end or final Jeopardy question, and I needed to make it where it would actually add. I could, as a teacher, I could add points to each of the 3 teams or whatever I could do. It took me 3 iterations to make that, and I was like, "This is so fabulous, right?" Okay. Creating lesson plans. This is our third and our last option here for our Canva AI. So you want to make something nice. It looks nice, pretty, useful for the kids. Sometimes it's going to take forever, right? Teachers just don't have time to make these all the time. But if I look at these options back here, I'm like, okay, these are nice with like the color schemes, and they made like the boxes, the tables. This is where you can actually use Canva to help create some lesson plans. So some sample lessons we have are for close reading, essay planning, guided research. Oh my gosh, our kids need help with research, right? But we can't just say, okay, go research this, go look this up. We need to guide them. They need to have some steps to work through their research. Cause and effect, reflect and improve, all kinds of cool things. Let's go back here and let's go starting here from the beginning. Okay, we're going to start at the beginning. And they used to be called lessons, but now it's called Learn Grid. So if I click on Learn Grid here, that's a book, and notice if I hover over it, it changes the page. That's kind of cool. I can go in here, and they have a lot of different activities that are pre-created. So I can either browse by subject if I want to go through here. They have the arts. They have 21st century skills. I wonder when they'll change that to 22nd century skills. We'll see. And then down below, they have other ideas. Okay, pros and cons, cause and effects, showing and interpreting data, rating on a scale. These are all things that it will create with AI. Honestly, I could spend a good hour just looking at the examples that it makes for me. They're so cool. So cool. Down here, they have some previously created activities already. So water magnets, here's the moon. This is amazing. Like it would take me forever to make this, right? So art of a collage, all kinds of cool things down here that you can take, you can create, you can edit. All right. You can do this. Faith in you. But I'm going to actually go up here and I'm going to click on, we're going to go with grade 9. So I'm going to say, I want to specify what grade I want it to be, English language arts. And I'm going to say, let's see, let's take this that I have over here. I'm going to copy that. And I could go through here and I could find some different activities, but I'm just going to say expand upon the book, The Diary of Anne Frank for 7th grade. Oh, I chose the wrong grade here. Sorry, 7th grade. All right, so I'm going to click on return. Let's see what it gives us here. So if I do this, oh, where'd it go? Oh, they've changed this. What a bummer. Let's see, quick match. I want to actually look at research. Okay, I want to do a research and analyze. So let's go to research and analyze. This is where I want to expand upon the book. Sorry, I skipped a step. So 7th grade, ELA, create an activity with AI. So this is going to help my students out with researching. They're going to have to be analyzing, about the book. We've been reading the Diary of Anne Frank in class. We need to take it to the next step. Okay. I can't just keep asking them questions, have them answer things. We're going to have them go into Canva and we're going to help push their thinking with a little bit more pretty looking design things. So let's look at exploring the Diary of Anne Frank. So this is what it created for me. So this created a document. And all of this is editable, right? All of this is editable. So I can go in here and, oh, goodness sakes, I keep clicking too fast. Here we go. Exploring the Diary of Anne Frank. All right. In this activity, here's the instructions. Read the given text. So it actually takes a little excerpt from the book, puts it into this doc. This is a doc in Canva, creates it. This passage was created using AI. Define your research focus, write down your research focus as a question. So this is guiding our students through some of this process, but it creates this whole organization for you to provide to them. So research questions, that all of this is editable. You can go in here, you're like, okay, I feel like I like this. What can I do with it now? Well, what you can do is you can actually assign this to your students. And there's a few different ways you can do this. So I can, if I click on this assign button, say that what it spit out, I did some edits and I'm like, okay, I'm ready to share it with my students. So I could preview it as a student if I wanted to, but I'm going to go ahead and assign it. I'm going to skip that real quick. I'm going to hit assign and I'm going to go assign via a link. I can assign to students in Canva. So if I create classes within Canva, that's a little bit more difficult. If you use Google Classroom, I like to assign it just in Google Classroom. And it pulls up, it links to your Google Classroom, pulls it up. You just do the assignment page, boom. You can assign it Microsoft Teams. I'm just going to do it via link because maybe I want to put it in Canvas. Okay. My assignment is ready. So I can now take this, go into Canvas, and I can paste it. All right. So there are a ton of different ideas that you can actually do here in Canva, and to create a learning activity for your students. All right. So like I said, here's a little, here's some steps on how you can click the assign button, choose how you want to share it with the students. And then they do have to have a Canva account to complete your activities. I would highly recommend, if you're going to use this assigning activity where you create the activity and you assign it to the kids, make sure your students have it set up, or your technology department has it set up on your end. We set it up at Twin Lakes. We set up so the students are all rostered through Clever, and we set up Canva through Clever. So the kids just go to clever.com, sign in, boom. They get to actually just go right into Canva, and they get to use all the pro features as well. Okay. So I highly recommend a couple of things. Number one, get into Canva, get your educator account, get in here and check out some of the lessons. Okay, if you want to go into like science, you can see what's already created for science. They have different science resources here. If you want kids to do a pros and cons, this just looks so beautiful and it's so nice to share it. That is an actual whiteboard. So Canva has a whiteboard you can use right here within on your browser. They have the digital worksheets. That's kind of like what we just had. Whiteboards. You can create other things, but a lot of times they're going to be a digital worksheet or a whiteboard that everybody could work on. Check out some of these activities below just to get some inspiration. I'm going to be in a kindergarten class this week, and we're talking about recycling. I might want to look at this presentation and be like, oh, you know what? I really like that. I might take it and edit it to be more like what we need for our class. So I can click on it. Boom, I'm going to customize this resource. I love the visuals, love everything. I can check everything out. Boom, pretty awesome. Save me a ton of time, right? Ton of time. So please go in, check out these different activities that you can do, from the Learn Grid. Go in there, check them out. Maybe something sparks an idea for you. And then after that, make sure that you go in and you try some of these AI features. Go in, create an image, create. If you go into like a design, and make sure you go over to like the elements. And when you pull up the elements, look at these different options, see what you can create. They have sheets. They have audio. You can put in audio, or you can generate an AI voice, which will put in a little play button that will pop up on the student screen when you share it with them. Boom, they get to listen to it. All right, very cool. Forms, I was talking about that before. Okay, you have some forms. Play with the AI. If you want to, generate something. Okay, if you don't see what you want, just click here and generate it. All right, I want a video, I want code, I want shapes, I want graphics. Ask it, tell it what you want. Okay, a lot of times we have something specific in our brain. We want this. Go to the generate button, hit that down arrow, go specific, even more specific than what you may be. So, all right. Whew. Lots of talking. Sorry about that. So here is, once again, Kyle Klein. My email is kklein1978@gmail.com. And I have Twitter/X. I still call it Twitter. If you'd like to connect after today or after you view this webinar at a later time, please find me at Mr. Klein _edtech. That'd be fabulous. I'd really appreciate it.